I made my own lane, got my own swag. I'm a vibe, B. I'm in my own bag. My fly different, yep, I embrace that. I know my time coming, ain't gotta chase that. I'm built different, I hit different, always have. Ain't no shorty like me, keep it 100,000. I put my heart in.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Beauty for Ashes. It's your girl Toya, and I'm back with another video for y'all. Hope y'all had a good week. My week was alright. You know, I'm here, I'm blessed, I'm highly favored. I'm just thankful to be here sitting in front of this camera talking to y'all. So anyway, hope y'all doing good. Let me see what's going on. So, you know, week to week, I feel like a pastor, right? Because, you know, every week, the pastor has to have a different sermon. You know, he got to do his studying, take his little notes and everything. So every Sunday, he got to come to the pulpit with something to give his people. He got to have a good word for the people. So it's really hard. You know, I give him a lot of credit. It's not as easy as it seems. You know, a lot of times you look at people like, yo, I could get up there and do that. But it's challenging. So each week, you know, I have to come up with something that's engaging, something that is entertaining, something that can resonate with the people that's watching. And like I said, it can be difficult. So I draw off of my own experiences, but I also try to draw off of other people's experiences as well. I like to touch on pretty much everything from relationships to self-help, you know, to spirituality. I try to just kind of touch on things across the board. But one thing about me, I'm not going to speak on something that I have no understanding or experience in, because how can I speak to that if I've never been through it and I don't know nothing about it? So I was like, all right, what are some that I've been dealing with recently, or like kind of recurring theme just in society today, period? And it popped in my head like empathy. You know, in the state of the world that we live in, I feel like that's one thing that's lacking is empathy. Because I feel like if we had more of that, we would just be better off as a whole, better as a people, better as a community, just better in relationships, a better friend. Like, we'll just be better all the way around. Like, it's really no downside to being empathetic. So I was like, all right, let me start at the basic core of what empathy is. So I looked it up for y'all, right? And it says, empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Great definition. And that definitely encompasses what empathy is. But I thought about it because I'm like, sometimes people say they have empathy, but it don't really feel like they have it. You know, like you talk to them like, yeah, you know, I understand. Like, yeah, I feel the same way. Like, that's messed up. You know, they trying to identify with what you're going through and trying to relate to it and everything. But sometimes it's just like they still don't all the way get it, if that makes sense. So what I did, I dug a little deeper and I'm like, what's missing? So I came up with my own definition of empathy, you know, credited to me later, you know, put me in a little dictionary, write my name underneath, give me my credit later if y'all use this definition. But anyhow, for me, empathy is not only being able to relate to what somebody else is going through, or putting yourself in their shoes, but for me, it's experiencing, you know, what that person is going through their eyes and from their level of understanding and from their perspective. So a lot of times when you try to have empathy for someone, you look at it through your own lens and how you would feel about a situation, how you would think about a situation. So say for instance, if you know, say like, what's a good example? You know, I hate to always go to relationship route, but that's just always a good topic to go to, right? But say for instance, if somebody was going through a breakup, right? And you knew the person, you know, personally, so they done told you some things that's happened in the relationship, and you know, along the way they made some decisions that you may not would have made, and so you may have kind of seen this breakup coming for a while or whatever. But when that person come to you crying their eyes out, they heartbroken, they all tore up about it, you still try to empathize with them, like, hey, you know, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. Like, you know, you give them a hug and you just try to be there for them. But then you kind of hit them with that, well, girl, like I told you, you should have left that man alone anyway. I knew he wasn't no good for you and all that. You know, if I was you, I would have did this, this, and this. So it's kind of like that little empathy part was that big, but then everything else is like that big. So that kind of like eats up the empathy. So you really don't even feel the impact of it because they came and kind of stepped all over it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really let it sit and resonate across the room or whatever. So the way that it probably should have been handled, like, imagine how you would feel if your heart was broken, regardless of how you got to the heartbreak. How does a broken heart feel? Let's start there. Like, don't just judge them based on how they got to that point. Think about, how does a heartbreak feel? And then that's the point that you empathize with the person. So a lot of times we look at the situation and the circumstances surrounding it instead of looking at what they're actually going through in that moment and what they need the empathy for. Like, I don't need judgment, or I don't need a sermon on what I did wrong. Right now, I just need somebody to hold me down. Like, yo, you know, I'm sorry, I get it. Like, I know that must hurt. I understand what it feels like to have your heart ripped out, feel like you want to die. Like, I get that, you know. And then just try to meet that person where they are. Don't always just be so quick to want to judge and jump in and tell your story and all that. They need you to be there with them, be present with them, you know, console them during that time, and really just try to understand the experience from their viewpoint and what they're going through in that moment. Empathy is selfless. Like, you don't really put yourself at all into that equation. It's all about being in the other person's shoes. And like I said, and just understanding things from their perspective and how they view it. And it's also based on their personality type. Like, you may be somebody that, you know, you can get over things real quick. Things may not bother you or whatever, but they may be more sensitive person. You know, they may be somebody that is in a more fragile state. So you can't think of it through your lens like, well, you know, because I wouldn't be as emotional, then they shouldn't be as emotional. No, you got to be like, you know what? I know my friend is an emotional person. I know they're a sensitive person. So I'm going to address it from that angle. So because they're wired that way, I know the situation probably bothers them a lot more than it would have bothered me had I been going through it. So that's one thing I want to say. Try to meet a person where they are, not where you are. Then the other thing we have to understand, sometimes people really don't even have the capacity to give empathy because of what they may be going through. So it's like you have to sympathize with them. You understand what I'm saying? I know I'm talking. I know I'm dropping them gems tonight, so I'm going to try to run it back. So basically, sometimes somebody else may be going through something in their life that may be so big to them that they don't have the capacity to empathize with what you're going through. And that's a hard concept. I've experienced that myself, where I'm going through so much in my life and I just want somebody to kind of be there for me and reach out to me, check on me, see how I'm doing. So when I'm going through those situations and I'm not getting that same energy in return, I feel some type of way. But then I had to tell myself, like, look, sometimes other people are going through things in their life as well. It's not always about you. You know, gravitate to the people that are holding you down, the people that do got your back, the people that are giving you that empathy and understanding. But sometimes that other person that may be close to you, they may not have the capacity to give that to you right now because of what they're going through. So it's like sometimes in the midst of what you're going through, you may have to sympathize and empathize with what somebody else is going through. So empathy is like a two-way street. You know, you got to be able to give it as well as receive it. So that just really had been on my mind, on my heart, and my spirit, you know, because sometimes I think people just not able to read the room. And I just deal with that so much because of my makeup and how I am. I feel like a lot of people don't understand me. Like, I'm misunderstood quite a bit. And it bothers me. But then I just, like I said, I had to think about it. I'm like, well, the reason why they're responding to me this way is because they're thinking about it through their lens and how they see it. They not really looking at how I'm processing it from my perspective and my feelings, you know. So anyway, y'all, I thought that was very important, you know, just to kind of break that down a little bit further and just to relate to people that there is a deeper level of empathy that you have to give people to really put yourself in their shoes. You can't just say I'm empathetic. You actually have to be able to show it to that person, and you have to meet that person where they are and give them what they need, not what you need. All right. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed my video. I'll be back next week with something else for y'all. I'm ready to spice my channel up. I'm ready to do some stuff. No, get your mind out the gutter. Not like spice my channel up, but like, just, I don't know, like, maybe have some more guests. Just do some more things. I'm ready to take my channel to the next level. I mean, I feel like I've been leveling up a little bit. You see the backdrop and everything. I'm trying to do it piece by piece. I'm trying to grow at my pace. So, like I said, drop me some comments, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know some topics that y'all may want to hear about. If you have any testimonies, you can speak to something that I'm discussing. Just, anything that you can give me to help me to grow as a person, and also just to, be better, to give better material to you guys. So anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time. Deuces.